Heidi Tilghman. I am the Director of Shared Services and Change Management for the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Washington in Seattle, which is a mouthful, right? I have been involved with shared services since 2010, when College of Arts and Sciences was the first academic unit at the university to launch a shared services project. Since then, we've gone from 3 employees to now 27 employees. We've gone from supporting about 13 academic departments to supporting 55 units that includes academic departments and research centers and our business office as well. So we've grown quite a lot. Prior to that, I had many different roles in higher education. I was also a professor, so I'm quite comfortable talking with faculty and administrators and students. The question of values, or the discussion of values, is something that has to happen over and over and over again. It's never a complete conversation. And aligning those values is really the product of many different conversations coming together. We just had a very successful project in precisely this, aligning values, when we had a team retreat in, February, I guess, ages ago, right? In which we had a previous conversation with our staff in our Shared Services Center about personal values. You have to approach this very, very carefully, but we did, word clouds and things like that to see what, just in terms of our team, what were overlapping values. Then we had another discussion of, all right, in terms of team values, what does success look like, right? What do we want to be known for? And had that list or word cloud. And then luckily and somewhat serendipitously, the college itself, so the dean's office, had led a conversation among department chairs and other key faculty members about what are the college values by which that will frame conversations in the college. So in our retreat, we were able to bring those 3 lists, and we were actually able to bring the dean in to talk about how she had led and why she had led that conversation among academic units in particular. And so we're able to have quite a rich conversation. Did we come up with a single list of values? No, but that wasn't the point. We had the conversation, the discussion, and now we have a basis for continued discussion. And maybe next February we'll say, well, this is what we came up with. This was the sorts of questions and statements we heard in the retreat last year. How would we mold those to the circumstances of this year? So it continues. I'm going to start first with that word mission, and a question: does the mission of University of Washington as a Research One institution, so do our missions change over time? And I would argue, actually, no. We're research, we're education, we're outreach. So those 3 core missions stay there. But how are those articulated through time? What are the emphases through time? Those can change. So there'll be new research methods. There'll be new teaching methods. And because there are new teaching methods and research methods, et cetera, that means that the business needs of our units are going to migrate, right? What do we have to purchase, right? Where are people going? Under what circumstances are they going there? So if our mission as a shared services center is to support the educational research and outreach activities of the department, we need to mold to them. So mission, no, doesn't change. So the what doesn't change, the how changes. How do you keep up with that? You have to keep your pulse on what's going on in your academic units. And again, I'm stressing academic units because those are our prime customers, if you will. So how do you keep your pulse on that? You've got to talk to people. Talk, talk, talk. And it's not just me talking to customer units. It's my staff. My staff talk to people more than I do, right? Come together. What are you hearing from departments? What do they need? What roadblocks are you facing and why? Is that a new roadblock? Why did that come up? So it again happens in dialogue. It happens by talking to people and intentionally listening for certain things. Back in the day, in 2011, when we launched our first Shared Services Center, it was mostly email and in-person meetings, right? Well, the world's changed a little since then, so our communication plan is multifaceted, and it has to be. I personally prefer going out and talking to people. I think that's the most productive, the most humanizing. But we also have newsletters that are sent out over email. We have meetings over Teams and over Zoom. We have Teams chats. We have we're trying everything that we can get our hands on. One thing we haven't tried much is social media beyond Teams, which isn't really social media. You know, how can we leverage that and still stick with confidentiality and all that sort of stuff that's important for risk management at a university. So there will be more methods out there, and we just, again, we have to pay attention and be ready to leverage those. Gauging customer satisfaction is, you hear a lot of folks saying very sincerely, oh, we do surveys, blah, blah, blah. I find gauging customer satisfaction very difficult, mostly because we can send out a survey, or you can have a comments box on your website. So you try to gather it passively, and nobody participates, or so few participate that it's sort of like student evaluations. If you're really mad at a professor, boy, do you write a lot. And if you're really mad at a shared services center, you get lots of verbiage from them, and you don't really hear if things are going well. So what's the motivation for customers who are very, very busy to fill out yet another survey? We do surveys once a year, and that's about the tolerance level for them. Again, I'll be a broken record. It's about going out and talking to people and listening to them. I think that is the best way. What is my staff hearing? What are the roadblocks? What has to be escalated? Why? Those escalations tell you a lot about what's not going well. Not hearing from people actually tells you a lot about what is going well, which is sort of a weird way of gauging anything. But you have to talk to people, you have to listen, and listen deeply to what they're saying, not just say a complaint or a compliment, but what's the content of that? What's really being said? When we first started in 2011, I was working with 13 different academic units. And I gathered those 13 people, I gathered them in a room once a week, and we hammered out what a shared services center was going to look like. Right? Fast forward to 2024, we have just, as a university, launched a new ERP. So we've just launched Workday. We had launched Workday HCM about 7 years ago. We just launched Workday Finance. With that comes a new chart of account, a completely new way of looking at accounting at the departmental level. So our department administrators and staff are so stressed out and really underwater. Are they willing now to come together in a room and hammer out what shared services is going to look like in this expanded era? No. So we have to expand, we have to adapt workflows, we have to adapt to Workday, et cetera, but we don't necessarily have that direct input from our customer units because they just don't have the time, right? Or capacity, mental capacity for that. So, yeah, it's complicated, and you have to change with the time. You have to accept, all right, this is an era where maybe we need to make more decisions ourselves and go out and gauge how people are reacting to them versus having them engage directly in the decision making. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day, and week-to-week, and month-to-month of running a shared services center at an educational institution, at a higher ed institution. This is a chance to back up, talk with colleagues who are having the same challenges, and get inspired by people. That's the thing I like most. I just got here last night, so I haven't been to very many sessions, but just the sessions this morning, I am inspired, I am re-energized, I'm scribbling all over my notebook with all sorts of ideas, and oh, we ought to ask this question, and how about that? That's just golden. I just love that.